Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com talking about my Hot 11 Alabama Crimson Tide players going into the month of April. And we got to start out with Xavier McKinney, returning safety. I think a lot of people have slept on McKinney. He was the defensive MVP in the Orange Bowl. Very high impact player. Is going to be the leader of the defense. Saban very happy with his work in the springtime and mentioned that he was one of Alabama's hardest workers in the offseason program. So I know Alabama has to replace Deontay Thompson, but I think Alabama fans, you should rest assured that Xavier McKinney is going to definitely bring it in the 2019 season. Here's Saban talking about McKinney recently.
Well, Xavier's done a great job. He's had a great offseason. I mean, I think he was one of the best performers each week that we did offseason program for 4 weeks. You couldn't ask a guy to set a better example. I mean, his practice habits have been phenomenal these first 3 practices. I mean, he's doing everything he can to set a good example and be a leader for other players. But, you know, depth at safety is an issue, and we got some young guys coming in next year, and they're going to have an opportunity to contribute, and we got to get the guys that we have here now playing better with more consistency.
Another guy that makes the list is Fernando Mathis at 6'4", 317 pounds, and Alabama has to replace Quinnen Williams' first-round NFL draft pick. And I think Fernando is going to be one of those players who really rises up and steps up to the occasion, as you can see working with Brian Baker, who's the new defensive line coach. Really like what I see from Fernando. He's stepping up in the ones with LeBron Ray and Raekwon Davis. Certainly expect a big year from Fernando Mathis. It looks like Xavier McKinney is all settled in after entering the NCAA transfer portal for a day back in February. Looks like he's really vibing well with new outside linebackers coach Sal Sinceri. Here's Nick Saban talking about Xavier McKinney on and off the field recently.
You talked with Xavier McKinney in the offseason. Just how much growth have you seen from him both on and off the field?
He's doing a good job. I mean, he's working hard. He's learning a lot. I think he's responded very well to Sal, and Sal coaching him. He's doing much better in school. Been really responsible to try to do the right things and respond to people the right way. And he's certainly making a very positive contribution to the defense. And I certainly think that that's our expectation for him. And if he continues this way, I'm sure he's going to make a huge impact.
We've seen a lot of growth out of Mack Jones year over year. Looks like he's really making strides to become that guy if called upon. Yeah, he's battling for the backup quarterback position, but it looks like he's coming a long way and is a dependable quarterback if he's called upon this season.
Well, we want to get every guy, you know, a good shot and a good evaluation. And, you know, we feel like, you know, Mack has made a lot of progress since he's been here. He really played well, especially at the beginning of the year last year when he's getting a lot of reps in fall camp, and then he had to be the scout team quarterback half the time. So maybe toward the end of the year, didn't really have the opportunity to progress like we'd like, but he's going to get every opportunity to do that now. And I think he's a bright guy. I think he has the right attitude about what he has to do to play winning football at the position. I think he's showing more maturity in his approach to how he goes about doing things and being a leader and affecting other people. So we're encouraged by everything that he's done to this point. But, you know, he's going to have to go out there on the field and show that he can do it on a consistent basis and run the team.
One of the biggest question marks going into the 2019 spring season was who's going to be the team's center this spring replacing Ross Pierce-Baker. And I think the player that has definitely emerged as a starting candidate is Chris Owens, as you see right here working with new offensive line coach Kyle Flood. We continue to hear positive things weekly, and it looks like he's going to be the guy that takes over as a center position. Big shoes to fill, and it'll be interesting to continue his progress moving through the springtime and certainly into the 2019 season come August. Alabama, as you know, has one of the most dangerous receiving corps coming back to the 2019 season. And how are they going to keep Slade Bolden off the field? Young man has been turning heads. I mean, they got Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, but another name to add to the mix is Slade Bolden. He's been looking fantastic during the 2019 springtime. Excited to see what he can do once he gets on the field. Looks very electric. As we continue to talk about new guys who are making a splash, Jerome Ford is a name that a lot of people didn't talk about coming into the spring season. It was Najee Harris, Brian Robinson, incoming freshman Trey Sanders, but Jerome Ford really stole the show recently during Alabama's opening scrimmage, even broke a 50-yard touchdown, we've been told. So Jerome Ford certainly turning heads, and one of those backs that could provide something a little different. He might not be the most powerful back, but it looks like he could be a guy to make that splash out of the backfield, turn it upfield, get things going. Evan Neal, 6'7", 360 pounds, living up to that 5-star status. People we've talked to close to the program feel that Evan Neal could make a push to start this coming season as a true freshman. Could that be at the guard position? Could it be at the tackle position? He moves well. He's a monster of a person, and from what we've heard, he's picking up the offense very quickly, and that's going to be very beneficial, whether he starts or not. Having an incoming freshman with this size for Alabama Crimson Tide offensive line is still going to be doing big things this coming season. Really, really surprised from what we've seen from Evan Neal so far this season. Here's a new name to the mix, Giles Amos, right? Who's that? He was a walk-on last season. Only played against Citadel in Louisiana. Saw times with the Ones this past Saturday as the team's tight end. A lot of people were talking about him, saying that he was turning heads, working his tail off. That could be a great story to follow this springtime. Could it be one of those situations where they surprise him with a scholarship? I'm not sure. Nick Saban said that Alabama might look to a graduate tight end to bring in a little bit more experience. Maybe Giles Amos could be that fit for Alabama. Will Reichard came in as a punter and kicker. He's a freshman, early enrollee. Hit a 40-yarder during Alabama's scrimmage, we've been told. Now, I've heard that his punts need a little bit of work, but he just got here. Let's give him some time and see if he can finally be the resolve to Alabama's kicking woes. Now, when we added the Hot 11, I wanted to add Sal Sincere to the mix. What he's brought from an energy standpoint has been fantastic, really coaching up the outside linebackers. And if you thought Tosh Lapoy brought the fire, Sal Sincere taking it to a whole other level. Yeah, this is his second go-around at Alabama, and I think you can really tell his wealth and knowledge, just the overall experience from Sal. Here's Nick Saban talking about some of the new assistant coaches.
Well, I think that, no disrespect to any of the coaches that we had here before, I thought they did a wonderful job. I think there were a couple areas where we had a limited amount of experience, but and I think that we've been able to improve the staff in a lot of ways with the people that we have and the experience that they have. I thought we needed to improve our staff as a recruiting staff a year ago. I think we did that. I think this recruiting class probably showed that. I think that the guys we hired are good recruiters, but I do think in some cases we have more experience, and I think knowledge and experience is always something that is, really beneficial to teach players. So I've been pleased so far with, the people that we have and the progress that we've been able to make and how the players have responded to the coaches.
Hey, thanks for watching today. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. If you're curious to get behind the paywall at BamaInsider.com and get those daily nuggets, the promo code at checkout is simply Roll Tide. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, this is Kyle Henderson. Hope you give us an opportunity to earn your business, and we hope to see you soon.